Welcome back. Today we're diving into Saving Uwala, a tale of secrets, dark rituals, and one woman's desperate fight to survive. When Uwala arrives at Pastor Bimbo's compound, she expects refuge. She is a young woman hoping to start over, to heal from past wounds, and to find a family that will embrace her. Instead, she finds silence, strange rules, and something far more dangerous, lurking behind the air of holiness. In a place where faith is supposed to protect, she encounters something that threatens to destroy her. How far will she go to uncover the truth? How much does she have to sacrifice to save her own life? Let's find out together. We see Uwala shouting dramatically. Uwala's arrival at the compound is anything but subtle. The estate is large and silent. The quiet at 10 a.m. is unsettling. She stands in the courtyard and raises her voice, breaking the stillness. "Since I arrived, no one's been praying," she calls out in disbelief. In a house said to be run by a senior prophetess, she expects songs of worship, not eerie silence. Her frustration boils over, and she leads a spontaneous prayer, clapping her hands, inviting anyone listening to join her. The sound of her voice echoes off marble walls and polished floors. Just when the atmosphere begins to lighten, a chilling interruption cuts through. An eerie voice whispers, "Let me alone!" The disembodied sound stops everyone in their tracks and causes disarray. Is it a spirit? Is someone playing a cruel game? No one knows. Fear creeps over the compound. Uwala realizes she's stepping into a place where the spiritual and sinister collide. The scene shifts to a frightened couple. Deep in the night, a mysterious voice wakes them from their sleep. They stumble through the dark house, hearts pounding, convinced someone has broken in. Instead, they find Uwala hunched over a pot in the kitchen, eating meat with her hands. "I was hungry," she mumbles. The absurdity of the scene doesn't stop the woman from striking her and ordering her out. Cut to Pastor Bimbo's church. Here, the atmosphere couldn't be more different. The church is full of worshippers, singing and dancing. Pastor Bimbo commands the congregation with her powerful voice and confident gestures. She prophesies, lays hands, casts out demons, and performs miracles. The crowd is captivated, raising hands and speaking in tongues. Yet, beneath the display of spiritual power, there is a darker energy. The woman who mesmerizes the masses is the same one who rules her house with fear. The congregation sees a saint, but her household sees something far more human and monstrous. Outside the church, Uwala waits to enter Pastor Bimbo's grand home. The security guard at the gate regards her with suspicion. Hours pass before Pastor Bimbo arrives with her entourage. Uwala seizes the moment, rushing past the guard into a house filled with marble floors, golden trimmings, and the scent of incense. Nervous and eager to please, she rings a bell and loudly praises Pastor Bimbo. The prophetess's reaction is lukewarm. Uwala is learning that there are unspoken rules here, and simply showing respect won't guarantee acceptance. She must observe, adapt, and decide how far she will bend. Inside, Pastor Bimbo calls Uwala to attention. "If you want to stay here, you'll follow my rules," she says firmly. Her tone leaves no room for argument. Uwala is handed a stiff, tight-fitting uniform by Rukaya, another maid. She balks at the size and instead puts on her own local attire. It's a bold choice that signals she's not going to be molded easily. Pastor Bimbo watches, perhaps taken aback that Uwala dares to insist on her comfort and identity. This small act of defiance foreshadows bigger battles to come. Uwala settles into her role as house cleaner. Rukaya shows her around and lists strict rules, the most important of which is never to enter the prophetess's private holiness room. The room is down a dim corridor, behind a heavy wooden door. It's off limits. No one is allowed inside, under any circumstances. Uwala nods and promises to abide by the rules, but the seed of curiosity is planted. She wonders what could be so secret in a house devoted to God. Curiosity gets the best of her. She tiptoes toward the holiness room, drawn by the mystery. Her hand reaches for the handle when Pastor Bimbo appears like a specter. "What do you think you're doing?" she scolds. Uwala stutters an apology. The prophetess's fury is icy. "You are not allowed here," she warns. "Disobey again, and you will leave." The reprimand is harsh, showing that the so-called holiness of this space must stay hidden. Uwala feels humiliated and confused. Why guard a room so fiercely if there is nothing to hide? Later, Uwala wakes to strange sounds. Thinking it's a security guard sneaking around, she calls his name. A door creaks open. Instead of the guard, Pastor Bimbo emerges from the holiness room. Her figure is cast in moonlight. "Go back to your room," she orders without explanation. Uwala obeys, shaken. The image of the prophetess exiting the forbidden room in the dead of night lingers in her mind, hinting that something secret and sinister happens behind that door. The questions stir her curiosity even more. If the room truly contains holiness, why does it feel so cold when the prophetess returns? Unable to contain her curiosity, Uwala sneaks into the holiness room. The sight inside is horrific. Red light, white cloths, and in the center, Pastor Bimbo's first husband's body, preserved unnaturally. His chest is open, his heart removed. Candles flicker, casting grotesque shadows. Uwala faints from shock. In her unconscious state, she dreams of the man's spirit speaking to her. Destroy his heart within 9 days, or she will be the next sacrifice. She wakes with a mission and a tight timeline. Her only chance at survival is to find the heart and end the ritual. Uwala attacks a guard, bursts out of the compound, and flees into the night. She knows she must find the heart and free herself before the 9 days are up. In those moments, she decides she can't wait for help. She must save herself. Her escape marks the beginning of a high-stakes chase. Out on the run, Uwala sprints through the dark night, never looking back. Every rustle, every shadow sends her heart racing. She knows Pastor Bimbo will send people after her. She vows to reach her village, find the hidden heart, and destroy it. But Pastor Bimbo isn't a woman to let go of her sacrifices easily. Back at the compound, she plots to bring Uwala back. We cut to the past, when Pastor Bimbo confronts her first husband, Shadrach. Tension fills their humble living room. "You're holding me back," she says, frustration etched on her face. She yearns for a bigger ministry, one that matches her ambition. Shadrach tells her that serving God isn't about personal glory. The disagreement reveals a growing rift between them. This conversation explains how she became willing to consider extreme measures for the sake of success, sowing seeds of betrayal that will eventually lead to her downfall. Steps in, Henry, the man who will become her second husband, seduces her with promises of power and wealth. He tells her she deserves more than Shadrach can offer. He flatters her, suggests that her husband is the obstacle to her destiny. Bit by bit, he convinces her she should be free to build her own empire. Blinded by ambition, and perhaps by Henry's attentions, Pastor Bimbo begins to consider betraying her husband. Henry expertly manipulates her, mixing sweet words with subtle jabs. She thinks she's deciding for herself, but in reality, she's being guided down a dark path by someone who benefits from her choices. Their plan leads them to a herbalist, an older man steeped in dark knowledge. He hands them a potion and a box. Add this potion to your husband's food to put him to sleep, he instructs. Once asleep, remove his heart and place it in this box. Keep his body alive in secret. Pastor Bimbo protests that she doesn't want him to die, but she still accepts the potion. This ritual, meant to empower her, is the same one she now plans to use on Uwala. It's a chilling reminder of how greed and power can twist faith into something monstrous. In the present, Pastor Bimbo hires mercenaries to find Uwala. They scour markets and villages, flashing photos, asking questions. But Uwala is clever. She disguises herself, blends into crowds, and stays one step ahead. The mercenaries grow frustrated, but Pastor Bimbo, using a mirror given by the herbalist, spies on them and directs them to her target. The idea that she can watch anyone through a mirror adds an element of supernatural dread and shows the lengths she will go to reclaim her sacrifice. She's right in front of you, she insists. Following her directions, they tackle Uwala and drag her into their car. She fights, but they are stronger. They contact Pastor Bimbo, celebrating their success. In the back seat, Uwala's mind races. She refuses to let this be her end. Uwala, however, is resourceful. On the drive back, she tricks the mercenaries into stopping by claiming she needs to relieve herself. When they let her out, she blinds one with dust and escapes into the bushes, running until she finds a road. She flags down a passing truck and hides among sacks in the back. She manages to get away once again. Each escape fuels her determination and weakens Pastor Bimbo's grip. Back at the house, another maid tries to flee, but is caught. She confesses she's terrified after hearing about the ritual and seeing the preserved body. She accuses Pastor Bimbo and Henry of planning to sacrifice Uwala. Instead of showing remorse, they lock her in the hidden room with Shadrach's body. The horror of what happens in the prophetess's house becomes undeniable. That hidden room is both a tomb and a warning. It shows that anyone who dares to speak will pay a price. Uwala, exhausted, eventually stumbles upon a stranger's home. The woman shows her kindness, feeding her and letting her rest. Unbeknownst to Uwala, the stranger contacts Pastor Bimbo. The prophetess lies, claiming Uwala stole from her. She tells the woman to hold Uwala until she arrives, and the woman, trusting the prophetess's reputation, complies. Uwala finds temporary comfort, only to be betrayed once more. Pastor Bimbo and Henry arrive at the stranger's house and try to drag Uwala back. They manhandle her, but she fights. In a moment of sheer strength and desperation, she tries to break free, running away once more. Uwala has a secret weapon. She already found the hidden heart. Sneaking back to the compound during the chaos, she dug up a box containing Shadrach's heart. Now she holds it, the source of Pastor Bimbo's power. She knows destroying it will end the prophetess's hold. Uwala confronts Pastor Bimbo. Holding the box, she declares, "I know about your ritual. I know about everything you've done." Pastor Bimbo tries to remain calm, but fear shows in her eyes. Uwala plunges a knife into the heart. As the heart is destroyed, Pastor Bimbo collapses, dead. The hold she had on her household and congregation vanishes in an instant. Henry watches, stunned. The dark magic that fueled their crimes dissolves with a single act of courage. Police arrive soon after. They arrest Henry for his role in the plot. Pastor Bimbo's reputation crumbles. The truth of the rituals, the missing maids, and the preserved husband becomes public. Neighbors and congregants are shocked. What began as a search for a runaway maid has exposed a web of deceit and murder. What started as Uwala, seeking refuge, turned into a fight for her life. Against all odds, she survives, destroys the evil at the heart of Pastor Bimbo's power, and exposes the truth. But the trauma of her experience will linger. Has she truly escaped the darkness? Or will the secrets of Pastor Bimbo's house haunt her forever? What a ride. Did Pastor Bimbo get what she deserved? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this recap, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into stories like Saving Uwala. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of Uwala's journey. We'd love to hear your theories on what happens next. Will Uwala find peace? Will she bring justice to others who suffered under Pastor Bimbo? Your engagement helps us continue exploring fascinating stories and uncovering lessons hidden in cinema. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.